This is your
bout.
main event of the evening. Presented by Boxer, live on Sky Sports by promoter Ben Shalom, and brought to you by our official partners, Bet365, Everlast, Village Hotels, Wow Hydrate, and FCI Markets. This contest is for the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, and the Ring Magazine Super Welterweight Championships of the World. Our judges at ringside, Mike Ross, Diana Drews-Milani, and Phil Edwards. Our supervisors from the IBF, Levi Martinez. From the WBO, Marian Politan. From the WBC, and our steward in charge, Robin Smith. So, Manchester, I need you all to get up out of your seats, raise your drinks high, and get wild. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. She weighed in at 10 stone, 12 pounds, 5 ounces. She holds a professional record of 18 wins versus 1 loss. And she fights out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. She is the reigning, defending IBF Super Welterweight Champion of the World. Here is Dicaire. And her opponent, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in at 10 stone, 9 pounds, 5 ounces. She holds a professional record of 12 wins, 2 losses with 1 draw, and 8 of her victories coming by way of knockout. And she fights out of Liverpool, England. She is the reigning, defending WBC, WBO Super Welterweight Champion of the World. Here is Natasha Jonas. Our referee in charge, Michael Alexander.
So referee Michael Alexander calls both boxers to center ring to issue the final instructions.
Right, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves.
Well, what was apparent during that stare down, during the final instructions from referee Michael Alexander, is that even though the tail of the tape lists Natasha Jonas at 1 inch taller, 5'8" to 5'7", if you believe your eyes, Dicaire enjoys a considerable height advantage. And we're underway, 10 2-minute rounds in the women's super welterweight division. This a unification showdown to determine the #1 in the division between the WBC and WBO champion, Natasha Jonas, making the 2nd defense of her WBO title, the 1st defense of her unified title. And it's the 1st defense in this, her 2nd reign of the IBF title for Dicaire. This is an all-southpaw affair, the first southpaw that Natasha Jonas has faced as a professional, and it's Dicaire jitterbugging in the center of the boxing ring. Jonas just being edged back towards the perimeter. She came forward with a speculative left hand to the body, but couldn't find a range. But there's a beautiful left jab. And then a beautiful left cross behind a right jab, from Natasha Jonas, using her feet magnificently to glide in and out of range, and she's landed with a left cross once again. Natasha Jonas locked in and unloading a left cross to terrific effect. It's caught Dicaire twice right on the button. She's taken the shot well, but then she's caught by a roundhouse right hook is Dicaire, and she's been picked off effectively by Jonas in the opening minute of this first round. Dicaire presenting a busy figure. She's feinting and playing with that right jab, but she's yet to find a range with any solidity or consistency. There she did score with a good right jab to the upper body of Jonas. But Jonas cutting an incredibly composed figure. And there, finally, some head movement from Dicaire as she slipped a right jab by moving to her left. There she comes through with a right jab, left cross of her own. Very busy with her hands and feet is Dicaire, but a left cross she attempted goes over the top of Natasha Jonas's head as she dipped at the knees. Natasha Jonas near the blue corner on this far side of the ring. Good double left cross success from Dicaire, followed by a cuffing right hand, which landed with the inside of the glove. An illegal shot, not a scoring shot, but Dicaire having been picked off by some solid left crosses. And there's the left cross in effect once again from Jonas. Dicaire responds with a counter left cross of her own. But as a 10-second clapper sounds, this has been a dream start for Natasha Jonas as she bids to take the IBF title from Dicaire, finding her accuracy immediately. Hannah Rankin, your thoughts on that first round?
Yeah, as predicted, I thought Jonas would be the more accurate with her punches, and she was landing a lovely backhand. You know, I think Dicaire started to come on a little bit stronger at the end, but that was definitely a Jonas round, and she looked very confident in there.
Yeah, and I thought it looked like they were just sort of bouncing back and forth, just both waiting for each other to commit. But then once she slid that front foot in the distance there, Natasha Jonas, that left hand over the top, hitting flush on multiple occasions there. Too easy to hit, I thought, Dicaire at times. But as you said there, Hannah, just at the end of the round there, she just found the range a little bit. And there was a few little left hands there I thought Natasha was just a little uncomfortable with.
Yeah, I think when she barreled forward, Dicaire barreled forward, kind of pushed it back on the ropes. A bit overwhelmed Jonas a little bit, but it was a little bit too late.
So Natasha Jonas up off her stool early to begin his second round. As the bell sounds to begin round number 2, Marie-Ève Dicaire taking every second of the 60 before rising up off her stool to re-enter the fray. The action sees the boxers at centre ring once again, and so much twitching, so much feinting from Marie-Ève Dicaire, wearing white shorts and white low-cut boots and a white sports top. As for Natasha Jonas, her boots red and blue. It's a red boot on her right foot, a blue boot on her left foot, and her colours with an impression of red, white and blue. There she ends a two-shot combination with a right hook around the corner. Embossed on the waistband of Natasha Jonas's shorts is the name of her daughter, Mila, whom she has promised she will return with another championship belt tonight. She said she's always making her daughter promises, and she intends to hold good on it by getting herself one win away from undisputed status. Marie-Ève Dicaire just backing up to avoid a right hook that was fired out of the southpaw stance by Jonas. Wondered what type of contest would ensue. Good left cross followed by a right jab from Jonas, but southpaw against southpaw, very much a rarity, but both boxers adapting to the left-hander in front of them very well indeed. It's Dicaire with her front foot pressure, backing Natasha Jonas towards the neutral corner on this near side of the ring. That springs a response from Natasha Jonas, not necessarily accurate with her punches, but they kept Dicaire occupied and backed her up to ring centre. Right jab to the body, left cross to the head is a scoring shot from Jonas. Then a right jab followed by a snatching left hand. She pulled it back to the on-guard position terrifically. And then after dipping at the knees to make Dicaire miss, Dicaire countered with a left hook of her own as Jonas was spinning off the ropes at this near side of the ring. Dicaire looking to get forwards once again. She just readjusted her mouthpiece with her tongue, stepped back a couple of inches before getting on the front foot once again. But she's picked off by another left cross from Natasha Jonas. Then Natasha Jonas tucking up behind high-held hands and using her lead right jab as a rangefinder. Dicaire continuing to bob and weave and bustle her way forwards. There she looks for a right-left combination once again. But Natasha Jonas, again, for my money, with a more accurate work in that second round. Barry Jones, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Dicaire was trying to force the pace a little in that round, and maybe rightly so, but all that happened was she walked onto punches there for Natasha Jonas. She did the work for Jonas. Jonas didn't have to bring her feet forward, didn't have to slide in with the front foot. She just had to sit on the end of distance, waiting, and then fire that left hand every time Dicaire came forward. And I think she hurt it a few times, visibly knocked her on her heels on one occasion. And I think Dicaire has to push the pace, has to put more pressure on Jonas, but it has to be cleverer.
Yeah, it has to be calculated pressure. I think she kind of rushed herself a little bit in that round, and therefore, when obviously with Jonas being the smaller fighter, Dicaire was missing with those wide, loopy shots, and she got, instead of Jonas's straight down the middle punches.
So it's just a case now, really, for Natasha Jonas keeping clever, smart, and tight.
So into the third round, it's a rather tardy exit from the boxing ring by Marie-Eve Dicaire's corner, but the action is underway, and it's Dicaire over the front foot once again. But Natasha Jonas holds her feet and scores with a sharp shooting combination to the body. Right jab followed by a left cross. There's an untidy tangle as Jones claims the right arm of Dicaire, and that left Dicaire to just bomb away with the backhand. There's a sporting touch of gloves on the resumption after Michael Alexander separated the two. Beautiful right jab from her shoulder from Natasha Jonas. There's the same shot once again, but it was deflected by the gloves, and then good head movement by Dicaire. Dicaire coming forward, stalking Natasha Jonas, but Jonas using the space of the ring so effectively, moving counterclockwise to her right, looking for a left cross followed by a right uppercut there. The right uppercut ended up around the right armpit of Marie-Eve Dicaire. Minute gone in this third round. Jonas occupying center ring now on flat feet, while altogether more dynamic is Marie-Eve Dicaire. She takes a straight left hand to the body, which caused her to double over, but now she's back on the front foot. 3 straight shots pistoned out, but she didn't find a range with any of them. Jonas up on her toes, slings in a hard left hand to the body, right hook around the corner to the head, before Marie-Eve Dicaire cleverly claims the right arm of Jonas and digs away with her free right hand. Referee Michael Alexander separates the two boxers once again, and it's Jonas on flat feet, Marie-Eve Dicaire remaining up on her toes, incessant movement from her hands and feet, but she's often out of range. There she did let a 3-shot combination go, but there was no potency on the punches, and altogether more solid right-left combination is countered by a right jab from Jonas. Jonas getting to work with a left hand, left cross, left uppercut, as Dicaire continuing to press as the two boxers exchange jabs. Dicaire, the naturally bigger boxer, who's been operating at 154 since 2017, as of yet unable to impose her physicality that one assumed she would have, having campaigned at this weight division for a longer period of time. There she steps on the gas and closes the distance and lands with a good right left to the body. Jonas is countered while she's off the ropes. We're going to head over to the red corner and listening to the instructions from Joe Gallagher.
Yeah, see how she started. She's come apart already. She's not the same girl at the beginning of round 1. She's 3. She's what we know. She's gone back to what she knows best. Coming in, hands low, and you've got to nail her with that backhand on the way in. But don't be going short shots yet, all right? Or she comes in backhand, all right?
You've got to agree with Joe Gallagher there. So she literally is losing her shape here, Dicaire. And she's coming in a little bit square. I think she's trying to rush her work a little bit here, but every time she does it, she makes a mistake. All Jonas is doing is keeping her elbows tucked in nice and tight, waiting for Dicaire to make a mistake.
Absolutely, and I think Tasha's showing great patience here. She's just waiting and waiting for Dicaire to make that mistake and rush forward. And I can see why Dicaire, she's trying to push the pace a little bit, but in doing so, she's rushing. So, yeah.
She needs to throw some feints, Dicaire. She needs to try and just lull Natasha, let her hands, space to let her hands go to land with the shots.
So we move into the 4th round, and it's quite conceivable as Natasha Jonas lands a left cross before the two boxers fall into one another in the middle of the boxing ring. But it's quite conceivable that Natasha Jonas is pitching a shutout here. Beautiful left cross, right hook off the ropes on the far side of the ring from Natasha Jonas. Now she's back in the space of ring center, moving to her right in counterclockwise fashion. Left cross was short from Jonas, but the right jab that followed was a scoring shot, as was the follow-up fusillade of straight punches from Natasha Jonas. And Marie-Eve Dicaire, her face being reddened by the accurate punch picking being proffered by Natasha Jonas, who is just remaining on the perimeter and using her right jab as a wonderful rangefinder. And Dicaire, she's busy with her right jab, but she's not finding the range. And as of this moment, it's a single right jab. There she did sustain the attack with a 3-shot combination, but they were all blocked by the gloves of Jonas before she had success by dropping down to the body. Aware of that, Jonas went in pursuit of her get back and scored with a 2-shot combination of her own. Then it's an untidy tangle at close range. The two boxers leaned onto one another. Left overhand left from Dicaire wasn't too far away from scoring as Jonas flowered with a hook, but there's a wonderfully educated lead right jab again that jolts the head back of Marie-Eve Dicaire. And the two boxers falling into a clinch once more. Referee Michael Alexander speaking to Dicaire in no uncertain terms about her application of the arm bar, the forearm under the chin of Natasha Jonas. The action resumes, and controlling the distance wonderfully with her lead right hand, which was a jab and then a hook, is Natasha Jonas. And then she used her right hand to knock down the straight shot from the right hand that was fired in by Marie-Eve Dicaire. Closing 20 seconds of this 4th round, and Marie-Eve Dicaire, well, she's got plenty of industry, but I'm not sure that she's showing enough imagination to make Natasha Jonas uncomfortable here in this world title unification bid. Now Jonas retreats to the ropes just above our commentary position, in between the turnbuckles, right in the middle of the ring, but it's another very good round for for Natasha Jonas, and Marie-Ève Dicaire being outboxed through this portion of this world title unification bout, Barry.
I would go as far as to say this is textbook boxing here, Raoul. Like, she's a pressure fighter and she's a power puncher by trade, Natasha Jonas. But what she's doing here, she's just reverting back to that wealth of experience she has as a top-class, world-class amateur boxer, and just keeping her elbows tucked in tight, her hands high, and just not forcing anything. Everything's natural, she's smooth, and when Dicaire steps over that front foot, she pops her with combinations and moves away. I think she's boxing. It's not as showreel as some of the others, where she's hurting people and having on to there, but it's probably one of her best displays here of pure boxing.
Yes, I totally agree. She's making some of it look quite easy, actually.
So again, it's all about just focus, concentration, our wealth of experience she has, and she brought it into this fight and just continues this. It's a good night for her.
So we go into the 5th round, and Marie-Ève Dicaire has got to do something different from what she has demonstrated in the first 4 if she hopes to inflict another L and take the WBO and WBC titles from Natasha Jonas. But Natasha Jonas, so concentrated, hands up high, peering between her gloves, elbows clamped to her torso. Marie-Ève Dicaire less gung-ho now, trying to think her way into punching distance, made Jonas miss, and then came forward with a right jab, left cross, but both of her counter punches were off the mark as well before the two boxers fell into one another on the ropes on this near side of the ring. Now the action is back in the space of ring center. Good work to the body from Dicaire. Right jab followed by a left cross, but then Jonas coming back with a left cross of her own. The final of 2 left crosses did land on Dicaire. Dicaire just stealing a glance to her corner. She wings a backhand left hook, which landed on the shoulder of Jonas. But for as composed and relaxed as she appeared all throughout the week's build-up, and indeed on the walk to the boxing ring here tonight, Dicaire is being prevented from using her strong suit of speed and accurate pot shotting. Beautiful head movement from Jonas as she leaned to her right and countered with a left cross straight down the pipe. Another bull rush from Marie-Ève Dicaire. Pins Jonas on the ropes over on the far side of the ring near her own red corner. She shovels in 2 hard punches just above the belt line. Jonas trying to spin off the ropes and get back to ring center, but Dicaire won't give her any room to breathe, and that forces the intervention of referee Michael Alexander. Final 20 seconds of this 5th round. Right hook, left hook success from Jonas, but she stayed in the pocket, perhaps got a little bit greedy, and Dicaire answered with 2 solid shots of her own, right on the unprotected chin of Jonas. The armbar applied once again from Dicaire. Referee Michael Alexander lets her get away with it, and there's a forearm fired in as the left hook was off the mark from Dicaire, and she ended up clouting Natasha Jonas with her elbow. The bell sound to conclude round number 5. Pockets of success for Dicaire, but again, another very good round overall for Jonas.
Yes, definitely a great round for Jonas there. But like you said, Dicaire was having pockets of success. You know, when she actually got a range and she didn't rush in, she was landing some good punches and some good combinations. So, yeah, I think she's trying to use her size to her advantage and make it rough in there for Jonas. Yeah,
Natasha Jonas is totally outboxing Dicaire, but Dicaire's in the fight, if that makes any sense. And she showed in the last sort of 20 seconds where she got peppered with some lovely combinations there from Jonas and some big heavy hooks as well. But she fired back under pressure and she had a little bit of a rally and made it entertaining, but still ultimately she's coming second best in all the exchanges.
Absolutely.
So what does Dicaire do now? Does she put her foot to the gas and go for it, or does she revert back to boxing?
I think she needs to show more feints. At the moment she's won sort of the same sort of jittery movements.
So into the second half of this contest, 5 rounds completed, a potential 5 2-minute rounds remain. Remember, Marie-Ève Dicaire just a single knockout in her 19 fights to date, but that was against the overmatched Cynthia Lozano, standing in the pocket momentarily, holding her feet and scoring with terrific hooks from both flanks is Natasha Jonas. Marie-Ève Dicaire kept on pressing, but she wasn't allowed to have any success because when she got into her own punching range, she was intelligently tied up by Natasha Jonas and was back out to center ring. The action is now back at long range in ring center. And Natasha Jonas just speaking to referee Michael Alexander, saying, well, hold on a minute, she's coming in with her head here. Michael Alexander was hip to it, called time, separated the two, and spoke to Marie-Ève Dicaire, who is bilingual, out of Quebec, speaks French as a native language, but fluent English speaker as well, and Michael Alexander reading the right attack to her during that instant. She's back on the front foot going in pursuit of Jonas. Jonas ties her up by claiming her around the rear of the head with a right glove. Good right hand to the body landed by Jonas as she's pinned against the ropes just near this neutral corner on the near side of the ring. Now the boxer's back in the middle of the boxing ring on top of the advertising logo. Beautiful right hook to the body and a corkscrew right hand, speared up by Natasha Jonas. The right hand was to the body, followed by a corkscrew right to the head. Dicaire, though, remaining in punching range. They look to trade off. It's Natasha Jonas who lands with a eye-catching right hook with the boxers at mid-range. Two boxers exchange misses with the lead right jab. Dicaire continuing to press, breathing through a mouth that's slightly open now. And again, her face betraying the punches that she's been touched up with, because it is taking on the tint of a tomato here now, increasingly red, but she continues to press. But as she got Jonas back to the ropes, Jonas uncores a beautiful right uppercut and then a right hook, but remaining in punching distance and scoring with a left cross is Dicaire. Countering with a straight shot to the body is Jonas. Perhaps the best exchange of the entire contest as Jonas scores with the right hand to the body once again. Dicaire remaining in punching range, hits Natasha Jonas with a rabbit punch just before the bell. Action-packed exchanges at the conclusion of that 6th round. Let's head over to the red corner and listen in to Joe Gallagher.
All right. The only reason why I say she'd be getting around is because she's coming forward, all right, and she's pulling into the ropes. So they might be seeing that she's on the offensive throne. You're countering lovely, all right, and you're landing good shots, but they're not enough to make this crowd go, ooh, ow, do you understand, all right? But you've got to hold your composure. I said to you right at the beginning, the early rounds, you're throwing, you're lifting your chin and dropping this lead hands, backhand, I should say, all right, okay? Big breath, jabs, 1-2s, all right, okay?
Again, Joe Gallagher got a spot on there. I think all the cleaner, better work came from Natasha Jonas, but I still think she got out hustled in that round. Certainly that first minute with Dicaire was accurate, busy, and she maintained it for the full 2 minutes, I felt, Hannah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think Dicaire was much busier at the beginning, and also, again, using her weight and her size to her advantage.
So we go into the 7th round. Both of these women took up boxing very late. Natasha Jonas didn't step into the Rotunda gym alongside the Smith brothers and Tony Bellew until 2005. She was a football player. She had the blistering combination, straight punches pinging the head back of Maria Dicaire, but Dicaire walked through them, bulldozes Jonas to the ropes on the far side of the ring, and he's turning this one into a firefight. But Jonas remaining composed. Terrific left hand from Jonas before spinning off to her right. Back comes Dicaire with a straight shot of her own, and then it's first and third boxing from Natasha Jonas. But Dicaire showing her competitive spirit. She's speared by a right jab and then a left uppercut from Jonas. But is the superior size of Maria Dicaire, natural size, beginning to make an impact as she roughhouses and ragdolls Natasha Jonas back to the ropes on this near side of the ring. And is Natasha Jonas just beginning to find difficulty in keeping Dicaire off? But as I say that, she lands a perfectly placed left hook just above the belt line of Dicaire that just caused Dicaire to take in an intake of breath and increase the distance to get her breath back. Beautiful right left from Natasha Jonas. A right jab followed by a spearing left cross landed with full extension, and then terrific punches being hauled into the body of Dicaire. Bent arm shots with the palm turned upwards from Natasha Jonas. Really effective, and that is an effective way to keep the bull rushing Maria Dicaire at bay. But she gets back onto the front foot once again, backing up Natasha Jonas to the neutral corner on the far side of the ring. Referee Michael Alexander inserts himself between the two, and how about that for a check right hook from Natasha Jonas, landing the right hook, spinning off to her right into the space of center ring. But Dicaire is proving to have a spirit that is indomitable. She comes forward, heads coming dangerously close together as she went to bob and make a move to her right. Closing seconds of this 7th round, and it's Dicaire on the front foot once again. It's resulting in a trade-off with both fighters firing to both head and body. Left cross is a scoring shot from Dicaire. What an action-packed round, my goodness. Some eye-catching quality from Natasha Jonas, but Dicaire in her face for the entire 2 minutes.
I don't know what I'm more impressed with, the shot selection and just the clean, neat boxing here from Natasha Jonas, or just the courage and the toughness here of Marie-Eve Dicaire. She took some bullets here, didn't she?
Absolutely, and she's determined to come forward, you know. She's not giving up that title easily, so yeah, I think this has been quite an exciting round. I think Jonas is doing more body punches, which is having a bit of an effect and starting to slow Dicaire down a little bit. She's not jumping around as much, and I think Dicaire could do well to actually try and target a bit of the body, like vary the punches up and down a little bit. But yeah, she's got her hands full with Jonas.
But Jonas did what every good fighter did. They possibly lost the round before, and then comes out strong and positive the next round, make sure they stamp their authority and turn the fight back in their favour. And Jonas did that.
Well, after that torrid 2 minutes, it was notable that both boxers were up off their stools early to answer the bell for round number 8, showing the opponent that despite the energy they've expended and the punishment that they endured, they are still very much up for. And indeed in this fight, there's a beautiful counter right hook from Natasha Jonas that sends a shower of spray from the braided hair of Maria Dicaire, and then it's a burst of shoe shine punches to the body from Natasha Jonas. Remember, she didn't step into the gym until the age of 21, having been a football player over in the United States of America. Good left hand to the body, followed by a right jab from Dicaire. Jonas missing with her own two-shot salvo as the two boxers fall into a clinch once again. Maria Dicaire is a former karate exponent. Didn't take up boxing until the age of 11 when she discovered that karate wasn't in the Olympics. It is now, of course, but back then it wasn't. And so it was either taekwondo or boxing, and she chose boxing, and what an impact she has made in the sport. Action-packed exchange at centre ring once again. Right hook to the head, left uppercut to the body from Natasha Jonas. But again, Maria Dicaire is trying to make this a mid-range exchange, and there's blood seeping from the nose of Maria Dicaire now. Perhaps the injuries inflicted by these accurate uppercuts and hooks being fired in by Natasha Jonas. Maria Dicaire having difficulty breathing now, the mouth more open more widely than it was previously. And this contest becoming attritional deep into the 8th round of this world title unification bout that is scheduled for 10. Left hand landed with the heel of the glove from Maria Dicaire, and the nose bleeding profusely now here from Maria Dicaire, but she is continuing to compete as she lands with a left cross that's countered by a left cross from Natasha Jonas. The boxers remaining just on the edge of long range. Dicaire pulling the head down of Natasha Jonas. Natasha Jonas comes up wide-eyed and peering between high-held gloves. Left cross fired in, but it was blocked by the defenses of Natasha Jonas. But then Dicaire did get through with a good two-shot salvo, followed by a strong left cross right on the bell. Dicaire competing right up until the conclusion of that 8th round and having success with that backhand despite the nose injury she sustained, Barry.
Well, let's get it right. Dicaire got beat up there for 1 minute and 50 seconds. Easily 1 minute 50 seconds. And in the last 10 seconds, where she just really should look to just try and survive to the bell, she fires back, and that baby lands with her best punch of the whole fight. As tough as they come, she is. As tough as they come. But Natasha's boxing out of her skin.
Yeah, Tasha's boxing really well. The cleaner shots are landing with her. And I think with Dicaire, like, obviously, you know, she doesn't really know how to lose. She's only really lost to Clarissa Shields, so you know, she's there to defend her title and what's hers, so she's going to keep pushing right through to the end. And
what's been impressive on Natasha Jonas, and when you mentioned a few rounds ago, is the body shots. Not just the punches she's throwing, the angle of the body she's getting to get them see these shots underneath the elbow. She's really bent over that front foot, turning from the core. This is a display here from Jonas.
So into the 9th round we go. Has the 60 seconds been enough for the corner to effectively staunch a flow of blood from the nose injury sustained by Maria Dicaire? But that's going to be tested once again because there was a two straight shot success for Natasha Jonas, and then she's peppering her opponent with the jab once again. The action is in the middle of the boxing ring. Michael Alexander inserts himself in between the two fighters and gets them back to beyond punching range. They're now circling in a counterclockwise fashion. Dicaire looking to get busy with a right jab, left cross, but she was off the range, as was Natasha Jonas with a left cross upstairs. Left hand to the body, the scoring shot from Natasha Jonas, countered by a left cross upstairs from Maria Dicaire. Good body shot with a single from Natasha Jonas. Maria Dicaire scoring with hooks around the corner. But it's on the resumption, it's Natasha Jonas who scores with a right-left combination, followed by a left hook to the body. Both boxers feeling the pace of this one. It's been physical and it's been fought at a high clip, but the quality is remaining eye-catching indeed. Left cross success for Natasha Jonas as another tangle ensues. Maria Dicaire putting the head of Natasha Jonas beneath her right armpit. Again, spoken to by Michael Alexander. Cluster of punches from Maria Dicaire was countered by an eye-catching left uppercut from Natasha Jonas. Then another single shot success for Natasha Jonas. Opens up the nose injury sustained by Maria Dicaire once again. Two boxers increasingly leaning on one another now. And Natasha Jonas is really feeling the effects of holding off the heavier boxer, the naturally bigger boxer. But she's standing in there, keeping her shape and showing her prowess at short and mid-range. But Marie-Ève Dicaire really looking to make this a physical, roughhouse street fight. There's a solid left hand landed from Marie-Ève Dicaire, and it just causes Natasha Jonas to become disorganized. Encouraged by that, Dicaire bulldozes to the ropes just above our commentary position. Jonas regains her composure, but it's a wide turning circle that she takes on the bell to make her way back to the red corner to receive instruction from Joe Gallagher. Hannah Rankin, your thoughts?
That was a big shot from Dicaire there, and you can see Jonas took a big breath to get back there. So it was great. It was good. A good thing it landed at the end of the round, but it shows Dicaire's taking the power through with her right through to the end.
I think what we're seeing in this fight, even though Natasha Jonas is winning by a street in my book, is the size. When they're in close, the physical presence, the weight that Dicaire, when she leans on her, she's feeling it, I think, Natasha Jonas. And that's why she's tired in this round, and I think that's why gaps appeared. Because Dicaire's just keeping that engine. She's got a fantastic engine, walking through shots to land her own. But it paid dividends in that round when she walked through some good shots from Jonas and got the rewards at the end. But it's an interesting one. Dicaire got to throw the kitchen sink of it on my card, but she had success in that round, and that's a positive sign for this last.
Well, interestingly, it was Natasha Jonas who took every second of the 60 and then some before rising up off her stool. She took some big shots in that penultimate round, and as we move into the 10th round, there was a brief touch of gloves, and it's another roundhouse left that lands from Dicaire. But Jonas getting back to that sharp shooting right jab, now up on her toes and using the space of the boxing ring, but a right hook thunders home from Marie-Ève Dicaire as she is going in pursuit of the stoppage win that she needs. She must be trailing by a proverbial country mile on the scorecards, but her competitive spirit has remained undimmed here at the Manchester Arena, fighting for all she's worth in a bid to take the WBO and WBC titles away from Natasha Jonas. Jonas surely has only got to remain on her feet and make it through to the bell, but after a two-shot success from Jonas, she's bulldozed back to the ropes, takes the left hand through the middle, but then fires a two-shot combination of her own before the referee gets them back to the space of centre ring. Two-shot success for Natasha Jonas, right jab, left cross. Dicaire going in search of her own big backhand, but the boxers fell into one another to nullify the work of the opponent, and it's Marie-Ève Dicaire using the forearm to bulldoze Natasha Jonas back towards her own blue corner before hauling punches into Natasha Jonas's body. Jonas can't get off the ropes, and then she blankets her opponent, gets herself back to the space of centre ring, and on a resumption looks for body shot success once again, but turning this one into a grapple fest you see in the UFC octagon is Marie-Ève Dicaire. There she throws a left hand, and again she puts the head of Natasha Jonas beneath her left armpit, applying a headlock. Now she applies her arm bar, putting her left hand around Natasha Jonas's back and digging away with the right hand. And Marie-Ève Dicaire is running out of time to land the shot that she needs, but there's another cracking roundhouse left hook that shakes Natasha Jonas down to her boots. The 10-second clapper barely audible here. The last roll of the dice from Marie-Ève Dicaire as she's swinging that left hook like a woman looking to chop down a tree. What a contest! A pulsating unification bout over 10 2-minute rounds. Joe Gallagher hauling up Natasha Jonas aloft. She holds both arms towards the arena lights here. She has surely done enough, but Marie-Ève Dicaire did not stop competing and came on like a steam train in rounds 9 and 10, making this physical, attritional, ugly, and something you would see on a street on a Saturday night rather than a boxing ring. The tactics served her well, but ultimately, for my money, it's too little too late, and surely Natasha Jonas has just taken the IBF title that Marie-Ève Dicaire brought into the boxing ring, but she was pushed right up until the final bell because Marie-Ève Dicaire did not stop competing. What a contest here at the AO Arena in Manchester.
That was just an absolutely fantastic round to finish a really good fight, I thought, but that last round was an absolute barnstorm of 2 minutes of non-stop action. I did feel that Natasha Jonas's discipline, I think technique and shot selection was fantastic tonight. But those last two rounds, she had to work to get the win.
She had to work those last two rounds. Dicaire was coming on very strong. She was determined to try and land that big shot that she needed. But the combinations of Tasha were really good in the last two rounds. You know, she just picking up Dicaire. She was trying to force her way in to land those big ones. So yeah, fantastic work from Jonas tonight, and yeah, very, very good.
Do you think that it was that it was just Dicaire's energy that gave her a real impetus the last couple of rounds? Or do you think Jonas slowed down because of the weight?
I think Jonas slowed down a little bit. She wasn't as fast to respond because of she was getting laid on. She was getting forearmed a lot, and it was just starting to get a bit messy in there, like I thought it would.
And that was evident in this fight, not any others.
No, but two southpaws.
Yeah,
so I think it was going to get a little bit messy at some point. But and also Dicaire is an aggressive fighter. She likes to come forward. She's a pressure fighter, So.
With a great chin, by the way.
With a great chin.
She took some bullets tonight, didn't she?
Absolutely.
Unbelievable shot.
Beautiful backhands.
Well, referee Michael Alexander has brought both of the boxers to center ring. Big Mo is in position to deliver the verdict. Let's get the particulars.
After 10 full championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for the official decision. Judge Mike Ross scores at 190. Judge Phil Edwards scores at 98-92. And Judge Diana Drews-Milani scores at 97-93, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, and Ring Magazine Super Welterweight Champion of the World,